So you may notice right at the beginning of ladder or when someone first starts up, maybe like a single player account, people might spam farm Pindle. And why exactly is that? Well, we're going to take a look at that today and why you could argue that Pindle is the absolute best magic find location in the entire game. Now, first up, why would you even want to come out here and farm Pindle? Can he even drop anything good? Well, the thing is actually...
Yep.
Let's go ahead and take a look real quick at Silasbin's drop odds calculator and take a look at what great stuff you could be finding from Pindle. Now, first up, sorry this doesn't have a dark mode, but I do just like using this website for looking up certain drop odds. So right here, we're taking a look at super uniques. We'll just throw in something 300% magic find. You notice I have this just on players 1 difficulty right here, and we're looking for the Harlequin's Crest, aka the Shaco. Yep, definitely can find that one there. 1 in 9,650 sounds like a lot. We're going to talk about that a little bit later, why maybe that number isn't that crazy. All right, Phil, but yeah, Shaco's not that uncommon. Why don't we look at something more uncommon like the Wind Force? Yep, Pindle can drop that one too. This one is 1 in 20,000. You can see twice as rare, or a little more than twice as rare as that Shaco, but a much more uncommonly found item. Or how about this right here? The Griffin's Eye. Absolutely amazing for any lightning builds. Yup. Pindle can drop that one too. It's 1 in 25,000. Man, Griffin's absolutely amazing. A ton of people are searching for this right at the beginning of ladder and especially trying to get those on single player. Am I right, fellas? So there are actually only 3 items in the entire game that Pindle literally cannot drop. And that's Tyrael's Might, that is Azarath, and that is Arachnid's Mesh. Yeah, crazy enough, you can actually get Arachnid's Mesh from Mephisto, but just the quirk of the way the treasure class item, blah, 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 I'm not going to go into it a ton, but Pindle actually cannot drop Arachnid's Mesh, but it's only those 3 items. So that leads to a ton of great stuff, and there's way more than I listed. You can get Mara's from there, you can go ahead and get Tal Rasha's armor, and the list really goes on and on. Now, how do Pindle's drops compare to, we'll say, the Act bosses? I mean, they're the biggest, baddest monster in this whole game, right? They gotta have the best drops. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at this Death's Web right here, and let's see how good of odds you have to get it from. Oh, wait a second. You can't find it from almost anybody of the Act bosses anyways, except for Bale right here. Then we've got some other little ones, Neolithek here, a couple of these ones that are bosses down in the World Stone Keep. So yeah, earlier in the game and stuff, obviously there's 85 areas where you can go ahead and find every single item in the game, but if you're target farming individual like super uniques or Act bosses, I mean, Pindle is going to be one of the only ones you're going to be able to get it from, really. There are a few others, like I said when I looked up the super uniques. There's a little bit of a list here, but really, it's not many. It's not many at all. And right here you can see I looked up Wind Force, and it's a similar story. You can't get Wind Force from Diablo. You can't get Wind Force from Mephisto. But if you go ahead and spam farm somebody like Pindle here, great, super easy to get to, boom, you can indeed get it from there. So really, if you're measuring up Pindle compared to like Act bosses, another really popular place to farm, really Pindle is definitely better. Now, how easy is Pindle to go ahead and kill? Well, you've already seen me do it a couple times, and does it look very difficult? No, it really does not. And just to show you over here, I have an insight. Look in my inventory. I have no Sunder Charm either. So if you don't even have those yet, he still is very, very easy to kill. Right here, I have a Nova Sorceress. How about I don't take him out instantly? Let's take a look at the immunities right here. His minions always immune to poison, and right here, this particular time, he's immune to cold. But he is always immune to poison, and then there'll be one other element or whatever that he ends up immune to. So it'll rotate through, and you don't always know what it's going to be, but occasionally it will be what your character is dealing out in damage. If you don't have Infinity, you don't have that Sunder Charm, well, what do you really do?
Well, actually, it's not that huge of a deal. Well, actually, it's not really that huge of a deal, because if he is immune to whatever, damn you are. Well, actually, it's not even a huge deal. Actually, it's not even a huge deal. Well, actually, it's not even a huge deal.
Well, actually, it's not even a huge deal, because even if he's immune to whatever you're dealing out, look at this Act 2 mercenary, chop him down in just a matter of seconds. So he can take him out in no time, and this is, I just have an insight, a guardian angel, and actually no helmet on this mercenary at all. So that's how easy just your Act 2 mercenary can take him out, absolutely no problem. Just so you know, it actually took me like 10 or 15 tries to find one of these Pindles that was immune to the type of damage that I was dealing. It's RNG what he comes up getting, because I'm lightning. It could have been lightning 5 times in a row, or I could go 30 times in a row with it out being immune to lightning. So it's just here or there, but you see how good the mercenary can take him out. Now the next point of why Pindle is so good, and this is going to be an incredibly quick point and doesn't need a lot of explaining, but how hard is it really to get to Pindle? He's essentially the easiest character to get to in the entire game to fight. Well, maybe not literally the easiest, but there are a couple that are a little bit faster. But considering he can drop all items in the game except for 3 that we already established, and he is right here through that portal next to Anya here in Act 5, boy, it doesn't get much easier than that. Now, of course, I mean, we all know you got to do this probably on a high players count, right, Phil, in order to get the best gear and get the most drops.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Actually, when you're running super unique monsters in Diablo 2 Resurrected, or old Diablo 2, it's not really a new thing, you actually only need to farm Pindle on players 1 difficulty in order to find and have the same drop odds as on players 8 difficulty. Let's hit that drop odds calculator super quick, just so I can prove it to you. Now here we are rocking that Wind Force drop right here, the same one, and we're looking at Pindle 1 in 21,897. So let's go ahead and say let's say we're online on players 8 difficulty. That first one was players 1, no party, no one else in the game with you. Here's 8 people in the party, and right here is 8 people in the game, and they're in your party, in your area. So this is the best possible drop odds you can get in the entire game, right? Well, look at Pindle. It's actually literally the identical drop odds. Yes, super uniques always drop the same number of items and the same number of potions every single time, no matter if it's players 1, players 8, you're partied, you're not partied, it does not matter. Of course, it takes into account how much magic find you have. So if you did rock even more magic find, your drop odds would be a little bit better, as you see right there. And actually, that's going to dovetail great into my next point.
Well played, sir.
So when you are running Pindle, because he's so easy to get to, he's probably pretty darn weak, easy to take out, you can usually stack up a ton of magic find doing things like throwing an Alibaba over here on your Barbarian, not needing to worry about safety. You can throw on magic find gear in a bunch of other places like this and not worry about having to get Crushing Blow or not worrying about FCR or anything along those lines. Stack up magic find charms in your inventory and boost that magic find up crazy high, increasing your odds of getting super godly gear. And then of course, because he's so close, you can just go ahead and run right out here. You don't even need teleport. And for this particular build, we'll haul everybody away and just chop him down. Go ahead and use the item find skill, and you get a second chance even. So it is incredibly easy to increase those odds of getting more and even better unique items by piling up that magic find, and you aren't really sacrificing much of any survivability or kill speed at all. Let's just say though, in a hypothetical situation...
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
I just died at Pindle. Whatever am I going to do? Well, it's actually pretty simple. You just save and exit and you spam it again, and you spam it again, and you spam it again. So because it doesn't take very long at all to get to, if you ever do accidentally bite the dust, boom, you're out here farming Pindle again. You don't have to start an entire run over, waste a ton of time going through town, getting your way out to Pindle and, you know, things like that. You don't lose a ton of efficiency if you die on occasion. That's another thing that makes Pindle good to farm early on. Dying, which I usually never do, ever, am I right, chat, isn't going to be crazy prohibitive to running Pindle, making it a great place to run early on. Oh my gosh, I bet you're going to like this video right up over here. But if you haven't done so already, click the like button and subscribe up if you are new to the channel. Peace out, fellas, and keep slaying.